It depends on why you're being ambiguous. If you're speaking to someone who is having a discussion and you practice one of these things, yeah, of course. In this specific context.
What if it's protect your life?
No, I don't think that's okay at all.
Okay, do you think lying is ever? Do you think any of that stuff is ever allowed? Do you think it's ever moral?
Within my paradigm?
Yeah, within your paradigm.
No, we're not allowed. We're not allowed to lie. We're not allowed to bear false witness. We're not allowed to use God's name in vain. These are like major kufr. And most especially not denying God if my life is at harm. That goes against the entirety of the understanding of what it means to believe in God. I think that's actually ridiculous, the way you can just deny Allah and denounce Him, even go as far as to blaspheme just to protect your life. It goes against the entire purpose of belief.
Would you lie to bring people together?
Would I lie to bring people together?
Yeah, like...
Well, that's a different question than... Well, wait 1 second. Before we go to that, do you believe that you can denounce Allah and blaspheme Him if your life is in danger?
Yeah.
Okay, why?
The preservation of life is the most important thing.
But don't you also believe that this world is fleeting and your goal is Jannah?
Yeah, so, I mean, you have the choice, right? You can, and you also are free to, openly say what you believe in if you'll be unalived. But Allah is giving you that permission.
Right, and that's what I'm saying is illogical. So if your goal is Jannah, and He wants you to gain Jannah, and you're basically at a position in which you are the closest to Jannah, why on earth would He give you the opportunity to not go in that moment?
If you can't bear it, like if you can't bear that, horrible death.
But you're in a position to be...
No, like you can. Like, no, like God isn't saying you have to, but He's saying you can.
Yeah, and that's the problem. I'm saying that goes against your belief that... It goes against his guidance for you in coming to Jannah. For Him to say, oh, by the way, you don't have to do this. That's ridiculous to me. That's absolute insanity, to be completely honest.
Why? Yeah, like you're not really making an argument.
Well, no, that's I've given you the argument.
Yeah, you're saying,
God
if you're that close to Jannah, why is He letting you do this? Because it's your choice if you want to end up in that part of Jannah. If you don't want to end up in that part of Jannah, that's your choice. Like what? Right.
So God guides you towards Jannah, correct? And He wants you to go to Jannah?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and He tells you that this world is fleeting.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So if that is the standard, right? And this world is fleeting and you have this life as a test, so on and so forth. And He's giving you this very test to reach that goal, of guidance to go to Jannah that He has set. Why would He go back and say, by the way, you don't have to do this if you don't want to?
Yeah, because not everyone can bear that. And if I were to take this like very fundamental like approach to this world is fleeting, there's no reason for me to put much effort in anything else in society. No effort to make technology better, no effort to make healthcare better, no effort to make anything better in my life. My only goal would just be to pray every day and give as much to charity that I can and just live in a hut. Like, no one's saying that you have to do these things.
Yeah, but that's not the same as being in a position of your life being threatened. Because you still believe in that moment that your life is fleeting. I'm not saying you don't have to contribute to society. No. Of course, you can do both of those things. I'm talking in a time of threat.
Yeah, but you're
The
taking
goal.
a very weird interpretation of this world is fleeting. This world is fleeting, therefore your life doesn't matter too much compared to what's coming. So you
No, I'm
should only
saying the
be
world to
focusing on what's
come.
coming.
No, but I'm saying the world to come is far superior than the current world. So when you have an opportunity to attain the world to come, the fact that God says it's fine, don't worry about the world to come, in that moment, you can stick to this world.
Yeah,
That's what I
if I
that's
don't
what
want
I
to
think
die
is
a horrible
contradictory.
death, bro, like
But wouldn't you gain Jannah, bro?
yeah, but
Wouldn't
not
everyone
everyone
reach
can
his goal?
not everyone can bear that, and God isn't putting that responsibility on every single person in that situation to bear that. He's saying you can, and you have the option to do so if you want to bear that terrible death.
Yeah, brother, that's a clear contradiction, dude.
That's not a contradiction.
It's a clear contradiction. You can't have a God saying the next world is far superior than the present,
Yeah.
and he has given you this specific test. Like, how do you know this is not a test for you to gain Jannah? What if this is, like, couldn't it be that this is your test to gain Jannah? Why is he giving you an option? Sorry.
Because
Why is
he's
he
giving
giving you
us
an
two
option?
acceptable options. Like they're both
And I'm
like
saying those options are contradictory. That's what I'm saying, dude.
they're not they're what? There's
I'm saying
there's
those.
nothing morally contradictory between those two options. You have the option Allah is allowing you if to just pronounce your faith and you get unalived, or you can renounce it on the apparent while still believing in it and preserve your life because for one reason or another you're afraid of the terrible death that awaits you.
Right, but shouldn't you have courage? Shouldn't you have faith in Allah? Shouldn't you have trust in Allah?
It's not about faith in Allah, it's about the ability to bear like a terrible death. Also, people don't live in vacuums. Like, people have kids, people have wives, people have families they want to take care of, and that option is there for them as well. Like,
So wouldn't you? Because I'm looking at it from a perspective of these people who are on the screen. These people would never deny their faith. And Christ says, "He who denies me before men, I will deny before my Father in heaven." Right? That is a standard he has set, despite what happens, because of the fact that the next world is far superior to the present. So when these people were unalived, the amount of glory that it gives to God, the amount, like the sheer level of them glorifying God is far beyond the imagination. Like, these people are witnesses. There are millions upon millions of people across the world that have strengthened their faith in God because of the witness of these people. That's quite literally what the word martyr
yeah,
means.
bro, and that's fine within your paradigm. Like, I don't find an issue with it in your paradigm. Like, yeah,
But you have the same thing, is what I'm saying.
I'm saying
agree.
like you can say my paradigm isn't to your liking based on your like worldview, but that doesn't mean that there's an inherent moral contradiction within mine. Like, God is giving the option for people who can't bear it, and He's giving the option for people who have responsibilities in this world. Like, people don't live in vacuums. Maybe that person being tortured.
Do you believe God is? Do you believe God can sustain?
What? What do you mean?
Do you believe God is a sustainer?
Yeah, He sustains everything.
Okay, good. So where is the trust in God that if these people, like, okay, do you think the families of these people wearing orange on the screen, do you think they struggle when these people died?
Yeah, they definitely struggle.
Okay. Do you think God can sustain them? Do you think God is capable of sustaining them?
Yeah, God is very capable of sustaining them.
Okay. Do you have faith that God is capable of sustaining them?
Of course. I told you I believe God is capable of sustaining them. Yeah, that's not a problem.
Good. So then why wouldn't they if their life was on the line, they would be the greatest witnesses. They would be the greatest, they'd be the perfect example of someone who trusts in God so much that he says that he is capable of sustaining their entire earthly life because now they are in Jannah.
Yeah,
Do you,
dude,
like,
just
do you
okay.
see the
You're making a
concept
jump.
of
Just so you said, is God capable of sustaining their families after they're gone? Yeah, I can agree with you on that. Is there going to be some kind of divine intervention for every single one of their families, whoever it is, not even the people in the picture, just anyone, just in general speaking? Is there? No. Like, can you guarantee that?
Yeah, of course. What? That's what it means for
Every
God to be
single
sustaining.
So every single person's family who's ever martyred, their families are like, God is just gonna swoop in and take care of their families.
Yes, of course. That's what it means. That's what it means to have to trust in God, that they are going to be sustained. Otherwise, I don't believe that they're going to be sustained. Sorry, that's why I don't, that's why that would mean that I don't believe that God is capable of sustaining them, or you don't have hope in God. Like this that's what I'm saying. These things touch
Dude,
upon hope.
I think you're mixing up two things. Having hope is not the same as like it happening. Like I can get cancer, right? Is God capable of curing my cancer? Yes, he is. Can I have hope he will cure my cancer? Yes, I will. Do I have faith he can cure my cancer? Yes, I do. Is he going to cure my cancer? I don't know.
Okay.
A lot of cases he doesn't. That doesn't
Okay.
validate the faith. It just means that he
Okay.
doesn't.
So would he leave the would God, if you say he's merciful, would he leave these people to, would he leave kids to be orphans? Would he leave these things without guiding their hearts, without protecting their hearts, without giving them joy, without giving them these things, even if their fathers, were unalived? Like, is that not?
Of course, God comforts their hearts. That doesn't replace the care and the protection and the income of the father.
Okay, well, what I'm saying is that the trust in God, the push for the earth, for the next world, is far more superior than earthly sustenance, especially if you believe that the earthly sustenance God can provide. That's the whole concept of trust in God, that he is capable of this and that he will do it in one way, shape, or form. And even if like God is capable of sending someone, for example, right? Of giving this family a donation, of sponsoring this, doing whatever. Obviously, it's dependent on every single happening. But that's what trust in God is, and God is not going to leave His people orphans. Correct? Do you believe in that?
Yeah, I think God can comfort them. That doesn't guarantee that they're gonna have some other source after their father's gone.
Yeah. See, I don't see that as trust in God. I see that as distrust in God, because now you're trusting only in this person's ability of providing.
Okay, dude, if I get
providing.
cancer, like I'm gonna trust that if I get cured, it's because of God, and I trust in Him. Does that mean I'm gonna get cured? Does that mean I'm certain that I'm gonna get cured?
That's not what I'm saying. We're not talking about trust in God. We're talking about how it's connected to someone who gives their life, to a family that gives their life. Cancer is outside of our control.
Yeah, it's in God's
But
control, right?
right. But
Yeah,
me
and
being
those families, they're in God's control, right?
no, I'm talking about someone who has the ability. Who was put in a position of,
Yeah, I
denying their
understand. But
God.
once they leave, we're talking about their families. Their families are no longer in they're in God's hands.
But did they not do an honorable thing? Did they not do like the most honorable thing?
Yeah, bro.
In
That's
witnessing to the
honorable.
whole world?
I agree. That's honorable.
Okay, good. Will God not like give a recompense to that? Does God not see that?
God will probably give a recompense to their families in the next life, not in this one.
Why not? Why not this life?
Because this life is fleeting.
Bro.
No, I mean,
bro.
like, if we want to go there.
No, if he's going to give them,
and also that's very logical.
That means you're saying he's just overlooking them.
No.
That means
That's
you're
very
saying
logical.
like
That's actually an argument against when I'm talking to atheists, right? And they're like, "Oh, well, God isn't fair. All these children suffering." Like, yeah, your view of the world is that it's just this life. I believe
No,
people are
that's not.
recompensed
No,
in the
that's
next
not what
life.
I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm connecting it directly to the honorable act this person did. That comes with a large amount of witness. Number one, right? That is an honor for me. Like these families of the men wearing orange, they glorify God and what these people did. Yes, of course they're grieving. They grieved for a short period of time, no issue, right? And it's not to say that they're struggling, no issue at all. But they are sustained holistically, right? Because God does not leave them orphans. So they have trust in God that they will continue to sustain them, and they know that these people are in Jannah. There's also no greater honor there. But for them to deny it, it's like it's insane for me. For someone to say their whole lives, I believe in God, I believe in God, I believe in God, and then at a certain point when the rubber hits the road, no, I don't believe in God, I'm going to blaspheme him. That's crazy to me.
No, it's
That's not
no.
belief.
The belief is
Guys,
still there. The belief
I
is
believe
still
it's K. If you don't mind, if you could fill me on the topic I just got here. What are you guys talking
Taqiyya.
about?
Taqiyya.
Oh, Taqiyya. He's going against Taqiyya?
Yeah.
No, we're talking specifically. We're talking holistically about, like, I'm saying it's absolutely insane to me for someone to commit taqiyya, okay, and deny and blaspheme God because their life is on the line. I think that is, I think I would categorize that under like atheism. That you never really believed in God. If when life gets tough, or in this specific moment, you just deny God. That's insane to me.
Yeah, belief is different than what you
God. You
say.
don't really
Like you're kind of
care for God if you're going to deny. That's just insane to me.
But you're not denying him in reality, right?
You are denying him.
Just outwardly, not internally.
So
Yeah, so God
you're
looks at what's inside, of course, in our paradigm.
right. Isn't what's in the inside
Mainly
supposed to show on the outside?
yeah.
sorry?
Caleb. So do you believe people who had underground churches are they in hell?
Sorry, one second. My volume went down. Say that one more time.
So you believe people who like historically had underground churches, like they're in hell?
No, why?
I mean, that's the whole thing about an underground church, right? Especially early on in like the Roman Empire.
Good.
Like I went to Rome, right, and I visited like some of these. Like they were underground. They were completely hidden away.
Yeah, they were practicing like secretly.
They went They went up, and they did whatever they had to do. They never professed Christ. They went to their little festivals and whatever, and on Sundays and whatnot, they went underground and they took communion and prayed to Jesus and whatnot.
Okay, did they deny Christ at all?
Of course. Yeah, bro, you're partaking in those pagan festivals. Of course, you're denying Christ.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, you're giving offerings to like false gods
In the underground churches?
No.
He's saying
the festivals. Yeah, everyone has to attend those festivals.
I don't know. I know you're talking about the catacombs, but I don't think those same Christians were outwardly practicing paganism. That wouldn't be Christian. That sends you to Jahannam.
So why were their churches underground?
Because of fear of persecution.
So were they outwardly Christian?
Yeah.
They would have been persecuted.
They couldn't have churches. They didn't have church. They couldn't build a church. So they still had to practice. It's like the same thing as if, for example, imagine you live in a country where it's forbidden to have mosques, right? What's your next logical step? You have to pray in a mosque, correct?
Yeah. If it's forbidden to have mosques and be Muslim in that country, I'm not gonna if it's forbidden to build a mosque, but I can still be Muslim, I'm just gonna go and gather in someone's house. This was not someone's house. This was underground. This was hidden away from the authorities.
Yeah, that's what the catacombs were. Whether they're practicing, and by the way, they were practicing, like in Egypt, for example. Right? We can talk about the catacombs, but there's no difference between, like for example, with the Egyptians under the Fatimid era in Egypt. Okay, what's his name? Hakim Ba'amr or something like that. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Hakim Ba'amr. He was one of them.
Yeah, he he burnt. For first of all, he burnt many of the places of worship, many of the churches, and then he forbade. He closed down the ones that were still open. He forbade the Christians from worshiping in their churches. So every Christian went in their house and they all practiced liturgies in their house. So he regretted it because he said, I closed down 100 churches and I opened up 2,000 churches, right? So they're going to continue to practice their belief. That's exactly what the catacombs were. They had to still practice their worship in one way, shape, or form, so that they're not unalived. But they never denied Christ. That's not a denial of God. That's not a blaspheming of God. They're just still trying to preserve their life. There's no issue because they're still practicing.
Yeah, no, Caleb, when these people had underground churches, the reason they were underground is because you couldn't be Christian.
Correct.
But the thing is, you know, I mean, you guys are talking about taqiyya in Islam. You don't always have to do taqiyya.
No, that's what I told him. And then he said, like, why would Allah give them this option?
Yeah, because people are of different mentalities.
That's what I told him.
You say wallah.
Wallah.
Yeah, I mean, the psychology. No, we don't all have the same psychology, man. You have the choice.
I'm not talking about psychology. I'm talking about faith here.
Yeah, well, there is also human psychology. If someone who's psychologically strong, right, obviously would have like also strong faith. Well, yeah, unalive me, whatever. You know, I'm gonna go to heaven anyways. But someone who, I mean, God gives you the option to do it. I'm not judging. Someone might have a different motive, right? He thinks that if he's about to die, then the mission he's working for is going to end there, right? If he's working on something important, like a revolution or something.
Like Caleb, like me and you and Ikhwan, like we can sit here and say, oh, you know, like I wouldn't do that.
me.
Like we wouldn't, like I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't deny, but you know, like if we put you in this situation, like it's not a pew pew to the head, right? Like
the moment the sword's on your neck, you're gonna say,
forget the sword, bro. Like you're getting, like you see your friend getting tortured, then you're about to like get that level of torture.
What's the standard?
What do you mean?
Like what is the standard of what I must have psychologically and spiritually in terms of my faith?
You just have the choice, bro. It's a choice you make.
No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking because God sets a standard, right?
The standard is what you're able. That's what you're able.
That's not what a standard is. A standard is, right? For example, your goal is Jannah. Your goal is an extreme level of faith. Mm-hmm. Right? To practice your religion down to the T as best as you can every day.
Yeah.
Right? That is a standard.
So I'm going to give you a hypothetical.
But one second. Anything lower than that standard is problematic because you're saying, well, that depends on that person's psychology. Okay, but that person's going to be judged based on the effort they put in. Correct?
Yeah, every person is judged based on their ability.
Okay, good. My issue is the fact that God says, hey, you can lower the standard. It doesn't really matter. That's so problematic, dude.
Yeah, because what's important is internally. Like, someone could outwardly be praying like 24/7, but he's like the most shitty human being. Like, what's the point? You know?
I agree.
Yeah, so
but the opposite is not the same. If someone is truly believing, a true believer in every single aspect of Islam from your angle, but truly believes in Allah.
So
one second. Shouldn't that also be outwardly? Like, shouldn't that express itself?
Yeah, it should be outwardly in a safe space, of course. But when you're under threat, God gives you the choice to do it or not. Now, I have a question for you. Do you think there is no taqiyya under any circumstances?
My issue is not taqiyya, dude. My issue is not just taqiyya generally. My issue is this concept of denying God.
Okay. Under any circumstance, you can't do it.
Not in my paradigm.
Okay, so let's say you're in a like a village, and you know, in this or you're in a room, and there's like 10 soldiers or something like that. And you know these soldiers are gonna go and grape little children, right?
Jesus Christ.
Listen to the scenario. We'll see if you're gonna do taqiyya or not. And they're gonna go and grape little children, okay? But they told you to make sure that they can trust you, you have to blaspheme. You have to believe in their gods. But the thing is, if you don't do that, they're going to unalive you and you wouldn't be able to save these children. What would you do?
Yeah, that is an insane hypothetical.
Yeah, but it's still a hypothetical.
That's an insane hypothetical. Yeah. It's almost an illogical hypothetical. Okay, yeah. But I'm still going to answer your question. Yeah, there's no issue. Yeah, I would not blaspheme God. Okay, I would blaspheme God 10,000 times for human well-being and to save these children. Well, like I could utter 1,000 words. I say I believe in God, right? But still do something like that and allow these children to be. You don't think God is? You don't think God has justice? You don't think God is going to enact His justice in for these children? In the hereafter? Yeah, He will. Yeah. Okay. And this world is fleeting, correct? Okay. So. Okay, good. So then you care more about this world than their hereafter. Okay, then when the Muslims unalive you guys, you shouldn't care. Why do you have this on your profile? No. Don't get me wrong. We glorify God for these martyrs. What I'm saying, these people are evil people. It's okay. It's okay. Their own will. They're gonna get justice. Why do you care? Wait, why are you trying to stop? I know they're gonna get justice. I'm trying to bring people to the truth. Why? That this is immoral, because if someone goes around unalives people, I'm not saying that that's moral. What do you think? Like, what do you think my purpose is?
Yeah, Caliph, but they're going around sending people to the kingdom.
What are you talking about, Ikhwan?
Yeah, so it's okay. They could go and grab people, and they could unalive
if we take this really essentialist understanding that this world is fleeting and doesn't really mean much, it's the next world exactly matters, right? They're just sending people to Jesus. Yeah.
So are you justifying?
No, you are.
No, I'm saying you're taking a very weird essentialist understanding of this world is fleeting, which I don't take. You're taking. I don't take this.
Yeah.
You're saying whatever happens here doesn't matter.
What are you talking about, bro? Those two things are not. They're not tied to one another at all.
Bro, the thing is, look. For me to say, comment.
One second. Yeah. For me to say that I would not blaspheme God and I glorify God for what these people did. Okay, that is a witness to me, and it's a witness to the world of true faith in God. Okay, now that does not justify what these people are doing. God didn't lead these people to do this in order for these martyrs to believe in God. No, these people are doing it out of their own will, outside of the will of God. God did not will these people to go out and unalive these people. So what I'm saying here is that this is extremely evil in every aspect of the word. That does not change anything about it doesn't justify and say without this, then these people would not be martyrs. Yeah. No, they're still causing evil on their own. It has nothing to do with.
Yeah, no one's denying that, but it's bad under his paradigm, Kabuli.
Yeah, and martyrdom isn't an obligation, Caliph. Like, you believe if someone's met with martyrdom, they have to accept it. Like, they have no way out.
Someone said, we're trying to justify it. We're not trying, but we're using the hypothetical against what type you could protect yourself if you feel like there's something, there's a mission you have to do. Doesn't it don't they believe help your neighbor and stuff and all these 10 commandments? What's the point of the 10 commandments then? If I'm gonna just because I don't have to that if I protect the children or protect, where did Joseph go?
Yeah, sorry about that. My phone died. That's my bad. Are you still there? Can you hear me? My bad, guys. Can you guys hear me? My phone abruptly died. I don't know why. Ikhwan, come back up if you can hear me. All right, beautiful. Actually, as a matter of fact, let's stop it. Let's end it here. It is getting late. Ikhwan, I'll bring you up. We'll talk soon. We'll continue this exact conversation on taqiyya. I think it's an extremely good conversation, but it is getting late, and I do have to go. But God bless everyone. I pray everyone's doing well. Stay safe in the Lord, and don't practice taqiyya, guys. It's my advice to you. Don't practice taqiyya. تودي النار, bro. تودي النار. تقية تودي النار. From our angle, of course. God bless everyone. God bless.